What's up, y'all? It's MacArthur, and we are here at HBCU TUNES. Today, we will be interviewing Xavier. I'm gonna give him the chance to introduce himself, and we're gonna get to know him a little better today. What's up, Xavier?
What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on? So, can you tell us what HBCU you attend?
I go to Prairie View A&M
You
out
at
here in Prairie View.
Prairie View. And how did you land in Prairie View?
Well, it was really like I didn't have a connection with my mom during the time because I was really gonna go to Alabama A&M, and then I was like, where else can I go? That's a HBCU, and then my auntie attended here. So now I was like, okay, PV would be smooth. And then I also thought about track as well. So then I ended up going to PV.
So you were incorporating sports. So you weren't really thinking about music at the time when you had initially chose your HBCU. And so how did your going to your HBCU lead to you starting music? How did you get into the musician journey?
Really, I think it started early on. It started, back when I was a kid, growing up in Hawaii. My dad was making beats and stuff, and I was just always around music. So, seeing other people do music here, it encouraged me a little bit, to actually start focusing on my craft a little bit more and, doing it. So I started showing it to my friends. It was like, okay, this smooth, keep working, blase, blase. And now we're 2 projects deep, so.
Yeah, so you just dropped Product of Your Environment, and then you have a project called The Sequence. The Sequence is really doing it for me right now, honestly. Speaking of that project, one of the songs I like on there, Quick Jot 2, and you talk about fatherhood and different types of themes in the song. Can you elaborate on what's the deeper meaning of the project and then go into depth about the particular themes that you incorporated into it?
Okay, so for starters, the sequence is really personal. And the quick jots was just something that I wrote down, their ideas that may not make a full album out of or something like that. So that's what Quick Jot 2 was. Quick Jot 2 is about a character. He's from St. Louis. I don't talk about that though, but this is his storyline. He was 8 years old, and the intro for it was going to be his pain, and his father was gunned down in a corner store when he was 8 years old. So he ended up he didn't have no guidance, so he ended up turning to the streets trying to find this father figure. And then he realized doing music. But during this time, he had a kid. So now he's trying to be the best father that he can. And, he also just, talking his stuff on the track. So that's what that is. But the sequence as a whole, more so is just a sequence of events from my freshman year that I went through. Me drinking, realizing this trauma, unraveling, just learning how to deal with it. And I learned how to deal with it more so in Product of Your Environment in a more healthy way.
Got you. Okay, so I admire storytelling in artists and the versatility and the ability for artists to tell stories in their music. So now that you elaborated on the backstory of how you came about making the sequence, can you tell us when you went into incorporating the ideas into your writing and making the characters in the story, were they reflective of real events that happened in your real life, or was it more fluff, I'm gonna create a character and just make a whole ideal out of them?
Okay, so only 2 tracks, well, I won't say 2 tracks, 3 tracks would be for that character in a sense, or those characters. But they're based off of real people. A Black Man's Fate is based off of, what's the name? It's based off this kid, and that I seen in person. We was outside, and it was across the street, and it was like 12 a.m. and this 2-year-old kid is just out there, and I'm like, bro, like what's going on? And then they're in the front yard, they walking in the street, but I'm confused. So then, me and my dad, we approached the yard, and we noticed that there's people in the car, like adults, their parents. So then we like, well, damn, like, what I'm saying, this is crazy. So we tell them, and what I'm saying, they sitting there in the car high, I don't know off of what, but this house, it also looks broken down. The car is messed up, what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there like, you know what, it's like, it's almost they fake to fail. Like, so I should, like, write something about him, like, in a sense. So, and that's why in the song, like, you keep hearing, will he fall, will he fall? Charles from the bottom, when he answered the call, what I'm saying, stuff like that. Because when you in that position, you're almost destined to fail when you have no support system, when you have nothing behind you. But you can still take what you have around you and make it into, something good.
Whatever you want it to be.
Exactly. You can make it into something good. So that's really what ended up inspiring the next project. But Green Light, No More, all those songs are about me.
We're gonna get into Green Light too, because I heard that song. I got questions about that one. But our next point of topic is gonna be you releasing Inside My Mind. You said you had dropped the project a year previously. You had dropped the sequence a year previously, but you didn't upload it until March. What happened in that time period? Was that the time your friends were like convincing you to start taking it more serious with like dropping it, releasing it, but you had always been in that space to like, I want to create music? And what was the thought process behind waiting to put Inside My Mind on Product of Your Environment and not putting it on the sequence?
Okay, so yeah, I would say that, like, they was like, what I'm saying, like, just get it on all platforms, bro, like, what I'm saying, just do it. And I was like, all right, bet. And then when I was making Inside My Mind, I already had the next album in mind. I just didn't know what it was going to be. So one of the lines in there is good things take time. And I say that a few times throughout Product of Your Environment, because that was actually going to be the original name. It was going to be Good Things Take Time. And I stumbled across that a lot. Like right after I made the sequence. It was like August, September. I keep hearing good things take time. I'm praying, I'm hearing good things take time. Everybody's telling me good things take time. So I'm just sitting there, okay, like, I think this is going to be like the next thing. So I made Inside My Mind, and I wanted it to be apart from the sequence because it didn't fall in that time frame. Like, it was after that time frame. So that's where Back to You comes into play on that project, on Product of Your Environment.
Gotcha.
And
like a full circle
so I start talking like, I live in sin, like I shouldn't, what's my purpose with rapping, this, that, and the third. And then it takes you to Inside My Mind and like what I'm thinking during this time frame. Like, I'm running track, this, that, and the third. I was dealing with an injury at the time. I had friends, but it was like, you know what I'm saying, I gotta focus on myself in a sense. Like, I'm busy right now. That's why I said, is it a friendly fuck y'all? Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't
and that's one of my lines. Honestly, when I heard you say that, I was like, okay, period. Because I'm big on taking up space for myself.
With Product of Your Environment, like, I'm talking about myself and how I took my environment and took the good and the bad to, you know what I'm saying, to become something better. But I also highlight people that, you know what I'm saying, took the negatives and, you know what I'm saying, you know, became a negative product in their environment. So in the song Therapy, I'm talking about how like awkward stares from everybody as I take a shot. People asking if I'm good. It's hard to say that I'm not. Like, and I say it in this tone because they you know what I'm saying, people will swear that they got your back, you know what I'm saying, but only a few will actually check up on you for real.
Yeah.
And during that time I was, you know what I'm saying, I was in a really dark place. So like, y'all didn't say nothing, y'all just gonna look at me. So I feel like I shouldn't, you know what I'm saying, I shouldn't wanna hang out with y'all if y'all really don't got my, if it feel like y'all don't got my best intention at heart. You know what I'm saying? So I just walked in my room, I start writing, and that's what that's about. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it all just molds well together.
Yeah.
Like,
it does. It comes together sonically very well, and it comes together in a, I told you this before, but like a melancholy type of somber way. And with that being said, do you think that being a student athlete and like having the background you had before doing music helped you be able to push those bounds as a musician? And like, do you think you push bounds as a musician, or do you think you play it safe? And like, what are some limitations that you put on yourself and try to like break out of?
I mean, I feel like when I'm making music, like I'm my biggest critic. So I'm gonna sit there and make sure that everything is correct. Like, there is no, you know what I'm saying, like, how do I say this? Like, whenever I write, it really go down like to how I write, because how I write is just like how I feel. So when I'm saying it, it's like I'm gonna make sure that it hit the way it need to hit with my tone. So because it's, you know what I'm saying, it's how I feel. Like, so, you know, I feel like that's something that just come natural in a sense. Like, when you actually feel something, it's gonna come off that way when you rap it. You know what I'm saying? Or you sing it, you know? Like, that's just natural, I feel like.
Yeah. I also hear like God a lot referenced in your music. Like, I hear a lot of talk about like you know, just your grandmother, and like you like feeling stagnant, I'll say, like you feeling kind of like questioning of what was going on, like the feelings. And then I heard you like come to terms with it in a way, but in the beginning it kind of reminded me of me losing my grandmother. I lost my grandmother last April, and hearing that song was kind of like, oh wow, like, because I still haven't had the, you know, the energy to muster up to talk about it sonically, but like hearing you do it, it was like it was really refreshing the way you came about it. And it was kind of like I mean, I have my own questions, but I'm not gonna question it because it seems like this is what you wanted type of situation. So with that being said, do you think that type of faith that you embody while making those type of records and like going through these real life situations in life, is that faith like reflective of your relationship with God? Is it like something heavy God oriented, or like where does that come from for you?
I feel like, yeah, like the way I incorporate God into my music is like I always reference at some point in time he's gonna be referenced. Like in Letter to My Mother, the very beginning is talking about Proverbs chapter 5 verses 4 through 6. You know what I'm saying? Don't lean on your own understanding. This, that, and the third. Because I mean, I grew up in that, you know what I'm saying, that type of household. My grandma was a minister, and my granny, the one in Letter to My Granny that I was talking about, you know what I'm saying, she was heavy with heavy with God too. And you know what I'm saying, as I'm growing up and becoming a young adult, I'm starting to understand, and I'm, you know, trying to branch off into my faith and really get stronger. So whenever I have questions, like, it's really more so I see it as character development. Like, how are you gonna handle this? And you know what I'm saying? You got God, so I feel like you shouldn't trip. You should understand that you're gonna be good. This is all for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And it's just all to build you in a sense. But there's gonna be some things that will try and deter you from your path. And how you gonna stick with it? Are you gonna pray when times get hard, and when they ease up, are you still gonna pray? Or you know what I'm saying? Are you
That's
gonna
that good faith.
Yeah, exactly. Are you gonna you know what I'm saying, you gonna fall down and get complacent? That's like one of the big things.
So, speaking of your grandma, who was the kids that she introduced you to that was weird?
Oh man, what's the name? So, what's the name? So it was like this one kid, and it was in the Houston Street Townhomes, and I was like, bro, this kid is like odd. Like, but when I look back at it, like I was weird, but I wasn't that damn weird. Like, I was like,
so
bro.
this was when you were a kid. Like she
Yeah.
introduced y'all, and it was like, nah, this is off. Like,
yeah, bro. I was like, nah, bro. Like, I couldn't. I was like, nah, bro.
That's
and
funny.
then, or like, I just know off rip that it wasn't gonna fly, cause like we wouldn't have the same interest. They would just be the same age, and then they into like just a whole bunch of other stuff. And then like because of my childhood, like I did grow up a lot earlier, so. I mean, my interest was like it changed a lot when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like I really wasn't a 10-year-old at 10, and then on top of that, I was ahead in school. So, like I should be in fifth, or you know what I'm saying, I should be in fifth grade. I'm in middle school now, or something like that. So I'm in a whole different tax bracket, you could say, when it came to that at the time.
Intellectual properties and being able to talk. Yeah.
Right. And then being in tune with myself. Like it's like y'all just want to talk about games and stuff like that. And that's fine. Like I could do that shit all day.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like after that it get dead a little bit. So I would lose interest with some
especially
people.
if y'all don't got interest at that young age, because we all supposed to be interested in the same about stuff. So I'd be like, it's like not that. It'd be like, bro, come on, wrap this up.
You know what I'm saying?
So speaking of that, and you feeling like you were being ahead, do you think like, because on your song Green Light, you talk about like situationships, and I know that's a prominent thing in like HBCU culture, and like we got the HBCU shade room, and they're always throwing out these stories of like this happened and situationship. Do you think like being an Army kid and like not having that security so young, needing those bounds, do you think like that plays a part in where you are now, and you choosing to like not indulge in situationships, and like you being like, bro, I want something for real, like I need something serious?
Okay, so it really goes down to like when my parents got divorced when I was 7. Like they showed me the example, they showed me the good and the bad of, you know what I'm saying, marriage and stuff like that. And then like growing up, I also was looking at like, bro, like this is really what I want. So I found myself like getting not complacent, but I would settle sometimes, and I'll be like, bro, like it's really not what I want. But I looked more so at potential. I didn't look at what it is. Like when I get stuck in potential, I fail to realize that people gonna be people, and they gonna, you know what I'm saying, they gonna do it. You can't force nobody to grow into that. And I didn't force nobody to do that, but it was just like, ah man, like this probably not gonna pan out the way I want it to, and then they'll end up failing. I'll be like, okay, then you know what I'm saying, I'll talk to somebody, you know what I'm saying, it seemed like they on the same track, and then like 2 months in, then they on some bullshit, and then you're like, okay, man, I can't do this shit either. Now I'm just gonna stick to myself. Like that's really what it come down to. Like
I definitely feel that, because my parents got divorced when I was in middle school, so it was like dealing with that type of situations, and you see your parents go at each other. Yeah. I wouldn't wish that shit on nobody.
I feel like we should spotlight the good marriages too. Like I feel like we should do that. Okay. But like it's already one thing with black people and mental health. Like, you don't realize how fucked up you are until you actually
I'm
looking
literally
at yourself.
22, just now realizing, because I'm making relationship choices at this age, how my parents divorcing even affected me subconsciously. Because even
Yeah,
back
it
then,
be subconscious.
I drawed out like when it was happening, like I was in my
Yeah,
own world, kind of in a way, because it was like I don't want to deal with that shit. You know, like I'm in middle
right.
school. I got my own shit. I don't even got the latest motherfucking Beyblades. I got nigga what?
God.
I'm worried about some other shit. And so now being grown and like having to deal with that shit face to face, because this is the time where you want to start building a home. You want to start creating a family. So it's like you going through all this shit, and then you like, I'm dealing with shit from when I was a kid. You know, so that's just
Yeah.
it really is a lot. It's a lot, and I feel like we do need to talk about that and highlight that in the black community for black youth, and get some resources to them kids like
Yeah.
me and you, because it's like, bro, I feel like if I
Yeah.
would have had the outlet to talk about some of that stuff, I would have had a very different love life, a different outlook on relationships and what is love and how to go about certain shit. Next question is going to be, if you were to get a buddy, freshman, to come to PV right now, and they were an aspiring musician, what would be like some advice you would give them? Or what would be something you would help them with that you think like somebody should have helped you with and took you under their wing and did when you got to an HBCU as a musician?
Well, I say, like, really just be original. Like, there's a lot of people, like, I hear these same bars all the time. Like, don't get me wrong, the beats be knocking, like, it'd be cool, but I hear a lot of the same bars. I'm like,
That
bro.
pen do not be getting pushed. And let me tell you, it's a big red flag, and it's something that we definitely need to help the younger artists with. So, originality, what's one more thing you would help them with?
Shoot, how to sound. Like, not how to sound, but because I learned how to engineer myself. So,
It's big.
like, yeah, so, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm listening to myself, and or I'm telling them, you know what I'm saying, just listen to yourself, and then you gonna know yourself better than anybody else. So when you know what I'm saying, you play around with these, you know what I'm saying, effects and stuff like that, and you fine tune it to your voice, then there's nothing that, you know what I'm saying. And then you're learning that. So now you have the complete package. You can be you can do production, you got the engineering, you got, you know what I'm saying, your lyrics is smooth.
And them
You know
is
what
who
I'm
the
saying?
people go to. So right now, what I'm in is I'm trying to get into the sync licensing world. And so basically with that, you gotta come like that. If you're not coming
Right.
with that trifecta, or that I'm a producer, songwriter, singer, engineer, it's gonna
Yeah.
be less opportunities, because they're looking for somebody who has that complete package and can turn around quickly. So
Right.
that having the ability to do that, one, be original, because they always emphasize originality in music. They don't like in sync licensing, the themes are very unoriginal, but the content and the writing has to be very original, because it's like they get so many recommendations every day, they don't want to keep hearing the same song. So it's like,
Right.
you gotta know how to flip it, you gotta know how to work it, know your voice. Do I need to go up 2 octaves to make myself sound different than if I was sounding regular with it? It's a lot that
Right.
goes into that type of stuff. Create a template. Excuse the Latin music, y'all. It just registered in my head that that's playing in the back.
I can't hear that.
You can't?
No, I can't hear the Latin music.
Good. Because it's loud as hell. But create a template for yourself, send it to these engineers so they're not fucking your sound up, and you have a consistent sound that your people can fall in love with. Is very, very important.
Right, because I feel like that happened to Roddy Ricch. Roddy Ricch had this specific sound,
And then it switched.
Yes, like Feed the Street, like if you listen to Feed the Streets 3 and Live Life Fast, they sound way different.
Like it wasn't the
sonically
same
than
engineer on there.
Please Excuse Me. Yeah, like it just sound different. Like his, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, with the auto tune and stuff like that. Like it just don't sound. It don't sound. You know what I'm talking about though. Like I can't do it.
Wait. To be fair, I don't listen to him, but
Oh my god.
I don't listen to Rowdy. But I love Rex in the middle. What's the name of the song? That's my
Okay,
shit.
so how he sound there during that era sounds way different than how he sound in
now
current day.
Okay.
But you can tell within the music, he's still trying to do that same thing. It's like his engineers is hoeing him, like in a sense. And then you listen to these leaks that be coming out, and it be sounding like that old Roddy Ricch, but it be new stuff. And I'll be sitting there like, bro, like I feel like his engineers is like messing
and that
with
really
him,
might be
flop.
it. You know, when you fall out with certain engineers and stuff, they get paid. Student tip right here. Take a hard drive to your studio sessions. Take a flash drive. Take your session. You guys do not know how many times I've had damn near whole projects I've gotten into with engineers, producers. My shit's scrapped. I will never get those songs again. So it's like, take your shit. Take your project. That's your intellectual property. Once you pay for the studio time, get your shit. So you won't be sounding like Rowdy. Today it's going to be on your campus. What is an event that you think you could curate to bring together musicians on your campus? More so, not to just bring them together, but like curate a space, like a network of artists on your campus, so that you guys can all collab, drive off of each other, work with each other, look out for each other.
Okay, so boom. Personally, one of the things that I'm working on right now, although it say ACM, which stands for Alamo City Music Incorporated, in entertainment or whatever you want to call it. I feel like we can make this group for PV artists. Like that's one of the main things that I'm trying to do, and not just artists, because that's why I got the entertainment in there. Like I got my homeboy Jalen. Shout out Jalen Bonds. Shout out my boy Kari, or my girl Kari.
Keep it coming.
Those two, they, you know what I'm saying, they got the directing and stuff like that. So, you know how PJ Lane got Kendrick and Dave free, you know what I'm saying, at PV, you know what I'm saying, with ACM we got me and who else, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever in this, you know what I'm saying, music video type of, yeah, you know what I'm saying. And it's not just that.
Producers, engineers, trying to bring all the elements together.
Right.
And hopefully, HBC Music Hub is the place y'all come in, link up with each other, find each other. Y'all can come to HBCU TUNES event on PV campus happening soon, hopefully, and y'all get to all talk to each other. And so that's just where we are now. I appreciate you for coming through, Xavier. Thank you for doing this interview.
No problem.
It was dope talking to you. Make sure y'all go stream his project, Product of Your Environment. He has another project, The Sequence. They're both out now on all DSP, all platforms. Y'all go cop that. Make sure y'all follow him every page he has on social media: Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure y'all follow on HBCUs on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. And we are clocking out. All right, you got any final words?
Shoot. Don't become a product of your environment in a negative way. Be positive.
Be positive. All right, y'all. College boy, skater boy, painter boy, who are you today? Who are you today?